Before I even start acting up out here, can we please take a moment of silence to reflect on how hard the opening of the original Dragon Ball goes? Both the Japanese and the English version got me out here pop locking like, gotta fight them all. Look up at them all. Like I'm over here in a Brazzers video. Alright, now that I've said my piece though, let's hop into this Halloween special like it's Charlie Brown as we check out episode 81 of the original Dragon Ball, Goku Goes to Demon Land. The episode opens up with the narrator giving us a glimpse of Dracula's castle. At that moment, I was high-key expecting to get a wine glass thrown at me and called a miserable little pile of secrets, but it never happened. The camera then pans to a young girl resting, but all is not well, as the things that go bump in the night have chosen to pay her a visit. Sensing that something was off, the young girl wakes up and to her dismay recognizes footsteps inching closer and closer to her room, until eventually, the ghost of Epstein's footsteps can be seen leaving visible marks on the pristine carpet. The scene ends with this crazy-ass moment of the girl turning around in front of the mirror, while her reflection doesn't, and she gets yoked up by an apparition and starts screaming, and what admittedly was a pretty damn disturbing turn of events. After this cold open, we cut to our boy, the one and only son Goku, as a young bull out here in the middle of the wilderness training. But because this is Goku, you know this little fella had to be all the way extra. Youngblood is walking on his hands, rope harnessed across his torso, dragging a tree across the road like it's something people just do. Eventually, little buddy is stopped by this old lady who peeps what he's doing and is like, "Young man, what am I looking at right now?" Goku responds, "Oh, it's good, Granny," because you already know this boy has absolutely zero home training at this point. "I'm just out here getting sturdy training, no big deal." Grandma replies, "Look, young man, I don't know what that means, but let me give you a quick piece of advice. Whatever you do, and I mean whatever you do, please do not go to that village you see down yonder. The princess just got finessed earlier this morning, and word is that place got poltergeists and all other kinds of nasty creatures running around." Goku, in all of his naive and himbo glory, stares at her blankly for a moment and is like, "Look, lady, I don't know who this polter guy is you're talking about, but can he throw hands? Because your boy's trying to train." The old woman, starting to believe that she may be dealing with someone who hasn't been touched by a ghost, but maybe is a bit touched in a different way, hands little dude a rice ball and is like, "God bless you, child," before making her way off. Goku, never being the type of man that you should threaten with a good time, gets back on his hands and begins journeying directly into the town where his little ass got warned not to go. From the moment he steps in, all the villagers immediately begin to panic and close their doors, the news of demons and poltergeists having them severely on edge. Goku, nonchalant as ever, chucks a humongous tree he was hauling around out of town and begins a game of Marco Polo, looking to find someone in the village to talk to who may be able to give him some info on this polter guy. Before he knows it, Goku steps on a trap the villagers laid and is almost skewered by a number of spears before briefly flexing his reflexes and martial arts prowess, knocking the spears out of the air before a time paradox can occur. What I need to know is just who the hell lays an active trap like this in the middle of a village though? Like, what if some random village kid is just running around the square playing, the next thing you know you got this whole town looking like an episode of Elfen Lied? Man, whatever, let's get back to business. Cause son was not happy about those javelins he got chucked at him. Tell me why this man's like, "Hey, that wasn't very nice. I came here to assist this crusty village, but if y'all need me to get active, we can do that too." This boy runs over to this big ass rock and gets ready to get on his Shrek timing, presumably about to chuck the thing through a nearby building before an old man is like, "Yo, chill. Hey, how about we talk about this for a second? I know a place where we can hook you up with a nice meal and you'll be so full you won't even need to worry about showing us whose swamp this is." How does that sound? Bro, watching Goku go from 0 to 120 in 0.0 seconds remind me just how much progress our fella made in Z. We talk all the time about characters being a walking black Air Force, but I promise you, Kid Goku at the outset of Dragon Ball was the very definition. People forget that young Goku had zero morals. This boy had no problem fading you if you were just a little too mean or if you came off the wrong way. This boy had to be taught that you don't just zero people out for no reason, and that junk took a minute too. The soft-hearted, mild-mannered warrior we see in Z got all of us messed up. We out here forgetting where this boy came from. So now we follow Goku as he gets his grub on in the king's main hall, having been escorted there by the old-timer who sought to make peace. Old dude was like, "King, I know this boy looked like he can't be like more than 12 on a good day, but God is my witness, he got that dog in him. I saw this boy chuck a 2-ton tree like a used condom, and he deflected our village defensive like a politician being asked to take accountability. I assure you, sir, this child is fundamentally built different." The king sizes the young Goku up, but is not convinced despite the peasant's glowing recommendation. "Boy, you do realize that if you go through that demon door, you might not make it back if I'm gonna keep it a whole buck with you." Goku, speaking through gritted teeth as he chokes down his food, lets out an innocent why the hell not, when the king, growing more agitated, tells him that there's gonna be 1,000 demons in that place and they are all his ops. It won't be as simple as walking in there for a breakfast buffet. Goku chimes back quick, telling him, oh, that's it? Then I just gotta let myself not get faded then, simple as that. At this reply, all the king can do is laugh, after which Goku, being the unmitigated clown that he is, starts laughing too, then stops abruptly and is like, my bad, big dog, I don't know why we doing this, I just saw you cutting up, so I did too. By now, the king's last nerve has exited the building and he asks his armed guards to come wrangle up this rapscallion and get him out of the hall while he works to find someone that can actually do this job. The guards then run up and attempt to little body Goku, but y'all know this boy ain't got no act right and starts beating the brakes off the king's royal guard in the middle of the main hall. After seeing this, the king runs up and grabs his hand on that Shaq meme energy, telling him, sorry little buddy, I was unfamiliar with your game. He wants to know who taught Goku how to throw hands like that. Goku name drops Roshi and the king is like, yo, that little gremlin might actually be the one for the job. Alright, young blood, here's the score. There's this demon named Schula who's supposed to have the craziest hands in the underworld. Using his magic sword, he popped open the door to the Makai realm, and I'm almost 100% certain that he's the piece of garbage responsible for putting hands on my daughter. What we need is a hitter who can enter the demon portal, deal with Schula, and get my little girl back. Goku hears this and is like, yo, Schula got hands? Say less, Pops, I'm your dude. Let me go in and do my thing. Moments later, a vuvuzela sounds off and all you see is a bunch of Devilman rejects running around the town, doing the most family-friendly ransacking and pillaging job I've ever seen. After being told that these are the droids he's looking for and their crime spree has left the village without food, this man Goku leaps off the roof to get busy immediately until he's stopped by the king and told to wait till sunrise when the time is right, or else the fission will be mailed before it even starts. Goku, truly not understanding why he has to wait until he's allowed to beat some ass, heeds the Burger King's advice nonetheless and waits till morning, where he's escorted to the door by the king and his guard. Goku sees Shula's sword stuck in the ground and tries to pull it out, but finds even with his ogre level strength he can't get it to budge. This is where the king tells him to stop before he gives himself a hernia, revealing that the only way to pull out the blade is to toss Shula's salad and break the curse. Young Goku is like, that's all I needed to hear, playboy, and begins a full-on sprint into hell, as the king, who sounds suspiciously like Android 17, is like, yeah, I'm gonna need to put out another ad on ZipRecruiter before the night is up. After the cutaway, we're taken to the Kame house where Roshi is being deboed by Launch, and it's absolutely hilarious. She got this man wearing an apron and cooking him dinner at his own house. Bro's even afraid to make eye contact. The Brooklyn native calls out to Roshi and is like, look homie, I'm only gonna ask for dinner one time before I air this whole bitch out and I put that on gang. Roshi, sensing this is no bluff, rushes out of the house and hands her dinner. On the plate though, all there is a bunch of allergens and potpourri. Then Roshi gets behind her with a feather, doing everything in his power to make this woman sneeze so he can get his life back. The plan fails miserably though, as Launch stares the man right in the eye and is like, oh, so this my dinner, huh? So you really thought shit was sweet out here, I take it. As a Glock can be heard silently reloading in the background. Roshi's balls immediately shiver up to a quarter of their already raising size, and he's like, no, Papa, I swear I'm gonna get you a new meal right away. Launch scoffs and is like, that's what I thought, asshole, throwing the drink in his face as we see Roshi die a little inside. I promise y'all, somebody on the island needs to call Adult Protective Services. This ish right here is textbook elder abuse. I know she'd be punking him for cigarette money and everything else too. Guess that's karma though from all the harassment if we're keeping it a book. Shortly after this, we see that Roshi's still up to the same tricks, as he has Krillin, Par, and Yamcha back when he was relevant, out carrying milk jugs while getting chased by dinosaurs back on land. I truly don't know why they gave these fellas a scene in the episode at all. All they did was meat ride Goku for 6 seconds, talking about, I don't know where he is, but I'm sure he's getting active right now, as the scene cuts back to our hero walking down the corridor in the Makai realm. These fellas will never catch a break, man. Out here still being filler all the way back in the Dragon Ball days. Absolutely tragic. Anyway, this man Goku is trekking down the hall and he stops briefly to deflect a knife aimed directly at his throat, working to end his entire career in a flash. Acting like someone just got his order wrong at a drive-thru though, and not like a deliberate attempt at game over in him was just made. Goku cries out, hey yo, who did that? And from the darkness, we see an absolute baddie with pink hair glaring at him from across the room, ready to soul steal. She yells out to the young ogre, who goes there? To which Goku replies, I'm going there. And next to the baddie, we see a large horned demon who tells Goku that no clearance is allowed without permission. Goku, with zero irony, tells the monster he don't know who this permission guy is, but he'll beat his ass too if he ain't gonna let him through. Now I know why Vegeta calls this man a clown. I know young Goku would probably be out here getting on my absolute last nerve as well. Big man once again speaks up, telling the short stack that if he values his life, he'll have to get to stepping. But little Goku's like, nah, don't talk about it, you gonna have to show me. As Big Boy prepares to little body him with a spear, Goku forces him back against the wall and leaves him looking extra weak. Big fella, unable to reconcile that this 3-foot tall Furby just exposed him like this, pulls out his machete to kiss his gringo goodbye, but is stopped by the lady mid-swing. The woman laughs briefly and tells Goku that she likes to cut at his jib and asks for his name. Goku tells her, and they start to explain to him that beyond here lies the domain of the demons, and the only ones allowed through are those with permission from the king of the underworld. Goku's like, well, somebody's gonna have to make an exception, cause I don't know that dude and I got a girl to collect. I'm here to put the strings to some knucklehead named Schula. Upon hearing this, both their ears perk up, and the woman, who reveals that her name is Melee, asks if she heard him correctly and that he really came to the underworld to throw hands with Schula. After Goku confirms, old discount Ader over here is like, well, too bad, bucko, cause Schula has his wedding ceremony today, and guess what, he ain't taking guests. Also, I gotta be honest, the bride looking a little young and the whole thing is giving me Chris Hansen vibes if I gotta keep it all the way honest. Melee looks over and agrees, verifying that it gives definite cupcake energy, but she's willing to be Goku's chauffeur if it means he'll actually get into the action. The next scene, we get a brief tour of the Makai dining hall as the players' ball ordered by Schula commences. After a brief pan around the surroundings, we see a very grown demon man named Schula posted up to this little ass girl, and he had me looking at him weird for moment one.
All I gotta say is, ain't nothing going on here, dude. Nothing funny going on here.
Nothing funny going on.
No.
The demons below are gassed the hell up as the announcer enters the floor in the middle and asks anybody if we got some contestants to box for Shula's amusement. The demon barely had a chance to finish his sentence before young Goku hops up to the plate and is like, yo, that's my cue. One thing though, please do not come down here if you do not got hands. I'm on a mission and have exactly 0 time to waste. Old Jerry Sandusky looks down to the ring disgusted at what he calls Goku's arrogance and sends one of his hitters to box and show this little boy what the demon world has cooking. Big fella steps in and attempts to bear hug Goku off rip, but Buddy was wearing his Air Forces. He jumps like 20 feet in the air and kicks this dude in the temple, ending the fight instantly. Goku then looks around and is like, I promise y'all, if anyone but Schula steps in the box next, I'm wetting this whole dinner up. I told y'all not to send any soft boys out here. Goku tells the princess that he's here to take her back home when this man Bill Cosby pulls a Jet Li, spin flips his ass down to the arena and kicks Goku in the head for talking to the young girl. The fight begins right after this, with this man Harvey Weinstein getting in the middle of the arena, levitating in the air like that one fella from Overwatch, and starts weaving all of Goku's attacks before getting on his Popeye timing, buffing up his forearm and knocking Goku away with the force of his ki. Then this fella R. Kelly becomes a windbender as his arm gets encircled by tornadoes and he pushes Goku straight into the arena floor. Anybody else would have blacked out from this one, but this man Goku, as we know, is different. He gives Danny Masterson props for his moves, but tells him that it's his turn to get sturdy now. The diddler must be able to smell the Black Air Force energy in the air because he immediately starts charging up that forearm again, but it's too late. Goku begins charging up his signature move and fires off a hot one directly at the Menace. And while he's distracted by the light coming from the energy wave, Goku hops up, gives this man 4 for flinching, and ends the combo with a kick straight to the chin, implanting this man as a part of the wall decor at his own wedding. Melee yells to Goku now might be a good time to leave, so he scooches up the princess on his back and races out of the Makai realm with a big fat grin on his face, satisfied with a mission well done. While Goku was waltzing out, Melee and Big Man congratulate Goku on his hand throwing ability, reminding him to take out the sword on his way out. Goku, thankful but surprised at their assistance, asks why they would help a lovable scamp like him at all. Melee tells him simply that it's good to shake things up every once in a while, and don't worry, they'll make sure they'll peel back the wigs of anyone that tries to go after him when he escapes. With a mighty struggle, Goku is able to pull the sword from the stone and save the villagers from absolute annihilation. My question is, what were these fellas gonna do had Goku not found himself in this area code though? Cause nobody in this village remotely had the kind of hands needed to pacify a situation like this. Fellas would have been deader than Yamcha's DMs if Big Homie hadn't come through. Guess folks just looked out. Back in the portal, Schula and Melee chop it up, and Shula's response to the ass whooping he just got is literally that, I can't lie to you, I'm getting cooked meme. Melee hits him with some wisdom though, reminding him that it's good for a soul to taste defeat every once in a while. Big Shu, unable to deny that facts are facts, asks the 2 gatekeepers if they want to come chill at his party, and the 2 comically slide into the darkness as the episode ends, with the demons back on their home turf, the village safe, and Goku enjoying one of his favorite pastimes, a good meal. Man, thank y'all for chilling with me on this one, big homies. I wanted to do something different for y'all with it being spooky month, and I hope y'all enjoyed revisiting Dragon Ball with me as much as I had watching it, even if it was only briefly. Stay tuned for our regular scheduled programming coming up. Be safe, and I'll talk to you again in the next video.